So Stadia is kicking off this year in 2022 with an awesome February set to feature 7 pro games joining the lineup and one pretty big title set to come mid-month. Not only that, but going forward, Stadia's lineup is really set to be a bit of a mystery, but we know the games are coming, so I'm going to go ahead and take some very educated guesses on titles that I think can potentially come in February as stealth drops. And so far, every month going back about a half a year, I've been right on some of these guesses, so stay tuned for that. With that, guys, subscribe for future videos like this. Also, enjoy today's video sponsor. With that, today's video is sponsored by S35 Gaming. S35 Gaming is an online entertainment brand covering the gaming industry and is sister to S35 Film and S35 TV, who cover the film and television industries respectively. Now, S35 can be found on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, so follow them on their respective channels for daily breaking news or their videos that cover new releases, retrospectives, and essays and the making of documentaries. Go ahead and check the description below for their link tree and follow the platform of your choice. So this February, we are getting 7 games joining Stadia Pro and bringing up the current total of games available to 50, which is awesome. But there is one set of pro games that is not only excellent additions to the pro lineup, but is actually making buzz in other gaming communities as one of the best ways to experience the Life is Strange remastered franchises for cheap. Now, if you're not aware of these newly remastered titles and launching platform-wide on February 1st, here on Stadia, both of these will be part of your Stadia Pro subscription, so you have an advantage. Both A Life is Strange Remastered and Life is Strange Before the Storm have enhanced visuals, updated character models, new and more realistic facial animations, new lighting, and even a rebuilt new engines. The first game will launch all the way back in mid-2015, garnered dozens upon dozens of awards, high reviews from publications, we're talking 9 out of 10s. Not only that, but this game currently sits at over 150,000 overwhelmingly positive user reviews. So what is this franchise about? Well, it's an episodic story-rich game where your choices matter, and in this franchise, you can rewind time, affect the past, the present, and the future. The story is certainly up and down, and it's a heck of a ride to say the least. You have multiple endings, and these are honestly excellent titles to experience via mobile or anywhere on the go, and you just take in what feels like a movie where you control the events, so I absolutely recommend them. With that, guys, the other pro games joining this February are Nanotails Typing Chronicles. This is a typing RPG that's gotten good marks, and it's a bit of an underrated title as I've enjoyed it myself. Merrick's Market is a chaotic crafting game about running a medieval shop. You can haggle, barter, and craft through the single player story and even enjoy some couch co-op that's pretty much akin to like Overcooked. Then you have a one-hand clapping. This is a quirky 2D platformer with puzzles that is actually solved by singing into your microphone. This is certainly a unique game and a very different take on platformers. You have Fogs. This is a neat adventure game with puzzles and the ability to play co-op. Here you'll control these 2 wacky dogs in a colorful game. Finally, we have Cosmic Star Heroine. It's a retro 16-bit inspired by the classic RPGs. From all accounts, this game has gotten a lot of good, awesome user reviews and is a good one if you're into that old school style. All of these titles will be available on the 1st on February to claim and enjoy on Stadia Pro. With that, we also have another title coming on February 1st with Moto GP 21, and if you're a fan of racers with career modes, this is certainly going to be a highlight. You can join an official team or create your own, even select your staff, and if you're into realism within your racers, you can keep track of the fuel, brakes temperature, the tire wear, and Moto GP has over 20 tracks, 120 official riders, and improved features over the last Moto GP. Overall, I'd say if you're into a hardcore experience, you're absolutely going to enjoy this one. Now, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires is set to not only bring the familiar theme we've come to love, like that 1 versus 1,000 soldiers, but now you also have the ability to plan your conquering of other nations. Things like a politics system where the choices between you and your officers determines the strength and foundation of your force, even as you, the player, can take on the experience of any of those lifestyles as playing like the ruler, the general, or even one of those officers. It's really a fascinating take into the long-running series. It's one that I honestly didn't have on my radar until I heard it was coming on Stadia, but either way, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires is set to hit the Stadia store on February 15th. With that, guys, we now come to what games I think we're going to see as stealth and surprise drops for Stadia for the month of February, and one game for me has to absolutely be coming super soon, as it was announced that this was headed to us by winter, and well, time is certainly running out, and that is World War Z. Now, I admit that I've guessed this several times, but this should be hitting the Stadia store pretty much any day now. It's one that I'm big time been looking forward to. I think worst case, I see this one being announced as a pro game for March, but I think this is literally going to come any day now. Now, another set of titles that I keep predicting, and I honestly thought they'd be here by now, is the rest of the Far Cry titles, from Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry Primal, and I think they would make a great debut if they were to come this February. Now, jumping to 3 games I've never guessed before. One here is Race with Ryan. This is an outright title. Addams Family Mansion Mayhem, and The Last Kids on Earth, and The Staff of Doom. I think it's very possible we could see these, because we've been really getting outright games almost every single month, and these are kind of the last 3 that have been rated. Finally, let's address somewhat of the elephant in the room. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There's some big titles coming this February, headed to pretty much all the other platforms. Stadia now has this policy where they don't want to disclose games too far ahead of time, and I'm not really speculating these games are coming, but I'm personally keeping an eye out if by some chance it does happen, maybe because I personally want to see them that badly. Dying Light 2 or even Elden Ring for me. This is 2 of some of the year's biggest titles here to come in 2022. And I'd be happy if they were announced even coming at a delayed release date. But for these games, I mean, they'd certainly be worth being hyped about. And of course, we're going to keep track of it just in case by some chance these do head to Stadia, as I do feel they are realistic chances. But either way, guys, February is shaping up to be a little bit of a mystery overall, but there's still some very solid stuff to look forward to. And I'm personally excited for quite a few of these titles here, especially the Life is Strange remastered versions, as I've been looking forward to getting into this one. So should be an interesting month to say the least. With that, guys, stay tuned to the channel as I'll have coverage of some of these awesome games. I'm Sunny, and as always, I'll see you guys in the clouds.